Hello, hello, hello again. Good afternoon. Welcome to Tanintorn Witaya's English Corner. My name is Teacher Michelle. With me are
Teacher Diana again, and my name is Teacher Debbie.
Before anything else, we would like to thank all our friends and family and of course all the wonderful students of Tanintorn Witaya in supporting our Tanintorn Witaya's channel. Now, and also we would like to thank all the parents of our students. Thank you, dear fathers and mothers, for asking your students to support Tanintorn Witaya's channel. And of course, all the students who participated in Teacher Debbie's tongue twister challenge. You were also amazing. Thank you very much. What do you think about that, Teacher Diana?
All the kids did an excellent job, and you are all amazing because you accepted the challenge and you were able to do the tongue twister challenge given by Teacher Debbie. So wait for the challenge that we're going to give you this week.
It is our joy to be able to serve you through this social media platform. We are humbled and grateful for your support. Rest assured that we will continue to give you content-based videos that you will enjoy and learn from. Teacher Michelle?
Yes, and today, we're not going to do any tongue twisters. Don't worry. But today, Teacher Diana is going to read from a very, very big book. Yes, a very beautiful and colorful big book. She's going to tell the story and read from that big book. And I suggest, please, as Teacher Diana reads the story, she will point each words in that story, and I suggest you follow along so we can practice your reading. Now, before we read from this big book, we're going to ask Teacher Debbie all the vocabularies, the words that we are going to encounter in this big book. So, here is Teacher Debbie for the vocabulary words.
Today, Teacher Diana will tell us the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But before that, let me unlock to you the difficult words that you will be able to encounter in her story. So please pay attention because there will be the interpretation in Thai language. Number 1, porridge. P-O-R-R-I-D-G-E, porridge. Number 2, forest. F-O-R-E-S-T, forest. Feed. F-E-E-D, feed. Number 4, medium-sized. M-E-D-I-U-M-S-I-Z-E-D, medium-sized. Next word, comfortable. C-O-M-F-O-R-T-A-B-L-E, comfortable. Next word, cracks. C-R-A-C-K-S, cracks. Next word, whales. W-A-I-L-S, whales. Next word, frowns. F-R-O-W-N-S, frowns. Next word, smash. S-M-A-S-H, smash. Next word, climb. C-L-I-M-B, climb. And the last and final word, fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E, fierce. Those are the 13 vocabulary words that you will learn from Teacher Diana's story. Now, but before that, before Teacher Diana comes and tell us the story that she will share to us, I would like to share to you 3 important reminders. 3 important reminders. Okay, we have listen. Please listen to Teacher Diana because she will tell you a beautiful and wonderful story. Next, focus. Please focus on the words which Teacher Diana will be pointing so you will learn to read. Number 3, and the most important, don't space out. Stay seated. Don't move around. Okay, are you ready, kids? Teacher Diana will be telling us a wonderful story. So let's have Teacher Diana here with us.
Hello, kids. So here we are now. As we read along the story, I want you to focus, as Teacher Debbie said, and listen. Because after the story, we're going to ask some questions. So this morning, we're going to read a story about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What's the title of our story?
Goldilocks
and the 3 bears. Okay, so let's see what happens to Goldilocks and why are there 3 bears around? So let's start. Okay, so we have 3 bears live in a house in the middle of the forest. There is a big daddy bear. So here's the big daddy bear. And then a medium-sized mommy bear. There is mommy bear. And a tiny little baby bear. So where's the little baby bear? So there he is. Okay, Teacher Michelle, which bear do you like? The small bear? That cute tiny little bear? How about you, Teacher Debbie? Which bear do you like?
Mommy bear.
Oh, you like mommy bear. So that I'm left with no one else but the big daddy bear. Okay, now the 3 bears eat porridge for breakfast. Most people like their porridge hot, but bears love cold porridge. I like hot porridge. How about you, Teacher Michelle? What porridge do you like?
I don't eat porridge for breakfast.
Oh, you eat rice?
No, I eat bread and water.
Oh, how about you, Teacher Debbie? What kind of porridge do you like?
Hot porridge.
Oh, I like hot porridge too. How about you, kids? What porridge do you like? Now, the bears, they like cold porridge. So, here's their tiny little house in the forest. And so we have here the 3 bears, the big daddy bear, the medium-sized mommy bear, and the tiny little bear. And they are going out of the house to go and have a walk into the forest. Let's find out what happens next. Okay. Who's this girl? And what is she doing here? Okay, let's find out. Let's continue reading. Goldilocks is also walking in the forest. She collects berries and sings to herself. She gathers flowers. Walking makes her hungry. Oh, I'm hungry. Are you hungry, Teacher Michelle? How about you, Teacher Debbie? Are you hungry? Oh, I am. So only Teacher Michelle and me. We're both hungry. So look at our size. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so walking makes her hungry. The warm sun makes her sleepy. Right now, I'm sleepy too. I want to sleep. Okay, she spies a pretty house in the middle of the trees. So there's the house, and it is in the middle of the trees. Perhaps I can rest there, she thinks. Maybe they will feed me. She does not know that this house belongs to the 3 bears. So whose house is this again?
Actually, it's not my house. It's the 3 bears' house.
Whose house, Teacher Michelle? The 3 bears. Oh. Inside, the table is set for 3. There are 3 chairs, 1 big chair. So here's the big chair. 1 medium-sized chair. Here's the medium-sized chair. And 1 tiny little chair. So who do you think sits on this tiny little chair? Teacher Debbie, Teacher Diana, or Teacher Michelle? Who do you think can sit on this tiny little chair? Will Teacher Diana and Teacher Michelle be okay with this tiny little chair? Do you think so? I don't think so. Okay, so on the table there are 3 bowls of porridge. 1 big bowl. Here's the 1 big bowl. 1 medium-sized bowl. Here's the medium-sized bowl. And 1 tiny little bowl. Here's the tiny little bowl. So there are 3 bowls. Okay, there are also 3 spoons. 1, 2, 3 spoons. And there's also a jug of milk. Here's the jug of milk. And a jar of honey. Okay, so these are the food on the table. Let's see which bowl did Goldilocks eat. Okay. So here, Goldilocks climbs into the big chair first. This chair is too hard, she says. She tastes the porridge in the big bowl, and this porridge is too hot. Next, she tries the medium-sized chair. This chair is too soft, she says. She tastes the porridge in the medium-sized bowl, and this porridge is too cold. So she did not like the porridge from the big bowl and because it's too hot, and she did not like the porridge from the medium-sized bowl because it's too cold. Okay, so there's Goldilocks. Okay, let's find out what happens next. Goldilocks sits down in the tiny little chair. It is very comfortable. She tastes the porridge in the tiny little bowl. It is not too hot and it is not too cold. This is just perfect, says Goldilocks. She eats up every last spoonful of porridge. But Goldilocks is bigger than the baby bear. After a while, the tiny little chair starts to crack, and then it breaks into pieces. Boom! Oh no! So Goldilocks fell down on the floor because the chair was so tiny. Okay, so there's Goldilocks, and there's the broken chair. The broken chair of the baby bear. Because it's too small for Goldilocks. See, Teacher Michelle, we cannot sit on this chair. It's too little for us. We would really like to sit on this chair, right? Okay. We might end up like Goldilocks. Okay, so Goldilocks fell down on the floor because the tiny little chair broke into pieces. Let's see what happens after. Okay. Goldilocks is tired because she has been walking into the forest, and then she ate, and then she fell down on the floor. She goes upstairs. She finds 3 beds. A big bed, a medium-sized bed, and a tiny little bed. Who do you think sleeps in the big bed? And who do you think sleeps on the medium-sized bed? And who do you think sleeps on the tiny little bed? Okay, let's find out. She climbs into the big bed. This bed is too hard. So she said the bed is too hard. She climbs into the medium-sized bed. This bed is too soft, she says. She climbs into the tiny little bed. It is not too hard and it is not too soft. This is just perfect, says Goldilocks. She falls fast asleep. So because she was tired, she fell asleep right there and then. Okay, so there's Goldilocks. She's sleeping because she's tired. Okay, and she's sleeping on the bed of the baby bear. Okay, let's find out what happens after. Okay. The bears return from the forest. So remember, the bears were walking into the forest and now they have returned. What a lovely walk, says Daddy Bear. Let's eat. Then he looks at the breakfast table. Somebody's been sitting on my chair, growls Daddy Bear. Somebody's been sitting on my chair, frowns Mommy Bear. Somebody's been sitting on my chair, wails the baby bear. And they've smashed it all into pieces. So remember, the little chair broke into pieces because Goldilocks was too big for the little chair. So there they are. There's the family of bears, and they don't look happy. Father Bear or Daddy Bear looks so angry, right? Look at Teacher Michelle's face. That is her angry face. And Mommy Bear was quite worried. And look at the tiny little bear. He looks so sad. Why? Because he doesn't have a chair anymore. The chair broke into pieces. Now let's see. I think they are hungry too and they would like to eat. Let's see what they find out. Okay, so we have, they look at the bowls on the table. Somebody's been eating my porridge, growls Daddy Bear. Somebody's been eating my porridge, frowns Mommy Bear. Somebody's been eating my porridge, wails Baby Bear. And they've eaten it all up. So remember, Goldilocks was so hungry and she liked the porridge from the tiny little bear's bowl because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. So look at the tiny little bear. He's sad because he's hungry and there's no more porridge for him. Oh, poor little bear. Okay, let's see what they find out after this. They're hungry. Teacher Michelle, Teacher Debbie, they're hungry and they're angry. Look at Teacher Michelle's angry face. That's how you look like when you're angry, okay? So let's see what happens after. Okay, so we have here. The three bears rushed upstairs. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, roars Daddy Bear. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, cries Mommy Bear. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, yells Baby Bear. And she's still there. Oh, so Goldilocks, where's Goldilocks? She's here. And the three bears were looking down at her. Goldilocks opens her eyes and she sees three hairy faces looking down at her. A big face for Daddy Bear. A medium-sized face for Mommy Bear. And a tiny little face for Baby Bear. Help! She cries. She jumps out of bed and runs all the way home. The bears are surprised. Was I too fierce? Asks Daddy Bear. Was I too loud? Says Baby Bear. I'll make some more porridge, says Mommy Bear. It's way past breakfast time. Okay, so there goes the story of Goldilocks and the three bears. So that was our story for today. Now, we said before that in every story there's always a moral lesson. For the story Goldilocks and the three bears, the moral lesson is respect the privacy and property of others. Always ask permission when you are going to use something that is not yours. Don't be selfish in thinking that you can do and use anything you want. That is the moral of the story for me. Now let's hear it from Teacher Michelle.
The moral of Goldilocks and the Three Bears for me is that individual actions can hurt others, especially when one person uses or destroys another person's property. In addition to this famous, in this popular fable story, it stresses that the importance of self-control and respecting others. Thank you.
Well, I really love Teacher Diana's story. What I've learned from it is always think before you act and always show respect. It's very important, kids, that you show respect and don't cause hurt to anyone. Now, Teacher Michelle will give us something that you have to do at home. Kids, listen up to Teacher Michelle.
Here are questions from the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you're going to answer it by taking a video and posting it on this channel. Now, listen very carefully. Number one question is, whose bed did Goldilocks sleep in? One more time. Whose bed did Goldilocks sleep in? Okay. Number 2, whose porridge was very cold? Number 2, whose porridge was very cold? Number 3, where was the house of the 3 bears? Number 3, where was the house of the 3 bears? Number 4, whose bed was too hard? Number 4, whose bed was too hard? Number 5, why did the baby bear's chair break when Goldilocks sat on it? One more time. Number 5, why did baby bear's chair break when Goldilocks sat in it? So those are the 5 questions that you have to answer by taking your videos and answering the 5 questions. Come on, kids, we're waiting for your answers, okay?
Looking forward to your videos, kids. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Teacher Michelle?
Well, again, let me say 5 questions. 5 questions for you to take your videos and answer it. Teacher Diana?
Okay, and as we
COVID.
always say, don't forget to always wash your hands and never touch your eyes, your
Ikaw
face,
sumunod.
and your mouth.
All right, and don't forget, stay strong and healthy. Eat your fruits and vegetables.
Yes, don't forget to always stay safe by wearing your face mask. Don't go anywhere. Stay at home. Watch Taninton channels every day. And don't forget to watch and answer all my 5 questions, okay? Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. Maraming salamat po. Kapun ka. Thank you very much.
Wave, wave, kiss, kiss, make a hug.
Kiss me in the morning, kiss me